Why, hello there, fellow agriculturalists. Rodamon here. Thank you for tuning in to Flotsam. Episode 7, Sowing the Seeds of Our First 2 Farms. So the architect wants to save a building, a specific building, and in order to save the building, he needs 8 seawalls. And that is essentially the cost to recruit him. And a seawall is metal and carbon. And then carbon is very timber intensive, so we're getting timber for the carbon, and then of course mushrooms for the air filter. So that's where we're picking up. So we're chopping down this pine grove here for the trees. We're going to continue collecting as much wood as we can, and then once we have a decent amount of wood, we'll head over to the mushroom biome and get some mushrooms in order to get air filters. Because air filters is actually, you know what, we have the mushrooms. We just need one more carbon. I see that now. So we just need a lot of trees in order to make the carbon. Carbon is something that you get from the electric bio-boiler. And it's just like basically bio-boiled wood, more or less. And in order to do that, we just need to source a whole lot of it. Move our little boat over here. And I'm going to start using the salvage boat buoy markers rather than the swimming buoy markers. So that's F or G. G is going to allow our salvage boats to go out there and stay dry and collecting quicker. Now, I had mentioned last stream that when you collect new crops, like wheat and whatever else, don't process them into biomatter. Because if you do that, you end up in a situation where you just don't have those crops to be able to then sow into your fields, and you have to go fetch them. The world is like, there's like finite resources on the map tile. And there is some absolute scarcity as well, so just be aware of that. Alright, given our current food budget, I'm going to head over to the flounder and fish up some flounder in order to help out with our food needs. Because flounder is something that doesn't require other ingredients in order to make. I think that will work. Jackie Chan, thank you for the resub, and cheers. Might as well get some seaweed too. I don't have a lot of seaweed. So in terms of research, the farming fields will unlock the ability for corn, potatoes, tomatoes, and wheat. And I only have 1 potato, and I have some wheat. The trouble with wheat, if you're wondering, is wheat alone you don't just eat. Unlike potatoes, which you could make more easily into food, wheat will require milling for flour, at the very least. So it's a multi-stage farming project. I think what I'll do, if polling works, because my god, it hasn't been working much or well recently. But if polling works, I'll have you guys decide what you want me to grow. And Winnie's, thank you for the resub too. So once the flounder is exhausted here, I'll head over to the flounder over here as well, getting that, and then we can go back on our merry trip to, here we go, air filter done. So the wood that we process from here on out, not that we have a lot of dry wood, we have like 1 piece of dry wood, but the wood we process from here on out will go towards seawalls. So the seawalls are requiring coal and metal plates. We have the coal. So what I'm going to do is queue up 8 seawalls, and that is the requirement for the architect. And again, a reminder, the architect unlocks more comfortable housing, and it also unlocks the ability to move buildings around for free. essentially allowing you to, like, redesign your city. Alright, how many more flounder? 2 more flounder in the water? Alright, pull up the last 2, and then we'll be on our way. Whoa! Making those seawalls drained the hell out of our batteries. Because we have the electric bioboiler making charcoal and biogas. We've got the hydraulic press making the seawalls. Hydraulic press uses a lot of power. I'm getting power warnings here. Actually, there's an inefficient grid. Let me take a look. 84% grid efficiency. Why? Oh, you know, that's just because there's not enough available power being supplied. I'm not gonna fret over that. It's not a big deal. It's just I am processing too much at once. One of the issues with electrifying everything is when you electrify everything, everything is drawing from the same power. So previously we were using firewood, and yeah, we're just having trouble like keeping up. What I could do is, at least in the interim, set up a wood-fired power generator. So I think I'll do that. Eventually I'm going to want to move towards clean power generation, just because there won't be required inputs. But for now, because I'm literally marooned in the water as a result of having no power, it would be wise for me to generate a little extra. Because we'll starve sitting here trying to move. And Glitch leveled up. Let's give him better crafting. So Daedora and Glitch are our primary crafters. So this is a wood power generator, which generates, I think, 2.5 times what the bicycles do. If we take a look at the build, bicycles are 10 eels, wood is 2.4 times, sorry. Almost 2.5 times the power. And there we go. Now we can use the firewood that we're not using to cook with, or boil water with, or smelt with, and instead using the wood-powered generator. And it's a good move, because otherwise there's not a lot to do with the firewood that you get from, like, dead trees, the kindling, or tinder. We'll do gas bags in that. And taking a look at our power levels. Still not recovered, man. We are... It's because we have 4 things drawing power right now. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's just brutal. Alright, we did manage to get farming done. And, what to research next? Milling? So milling turns wheat into flour. We've got food cleaning, fish boat. You know how I feel about fish boat from last stream. I'm probably not going to use it, but you know, if you want to vote for it, that's fine. Unbottling. Unbottling, if you're wondering, and food cleaning are basically the same thing for just different fish. In polluted biomes, you can fish up gulpers and the minnows, and the minnows are going to be stuck in bottles, and the gulpers are going to be covered in oil, and you have to like clean them off. We've also got oil power, yummy cooking, advanced electricity, and I think that's it. So there you go. There's the poll. Hey, look, it's actually visible today. Who would have guessed? Yay! We put firewood in the generator. And now we can move again. Joyous. There it is. Alright, we're definitely struggling on the, like, food supply. I think what I'm gonna do is queue up the nibblers, the minnow fish, in order to be cooked, because I don't have a lot of potatoes for them. And it's reasonable to assume that any potatoes that I get are probably gonna go back into a farming field, rather than alternatively being cooked into food. So we'll do that. Where do you look to know if the weight is affecting movement speed? So you have your weight down in the bottom right, and it won't affect, like, every time you go up a threshold, you'll move a little bit slower. And then, of course, if you go up too high, you won't be able to move. So that information is the weight-torque ratio here. Also, totally failed to mention that at the start of this stream, that there's been a lot of, like, updates to the game. So, there was a lot of, like, hot fixing that happened behind the scenes, just to let you all know. So if we do want a big farm field, I am totally all for placing it. I just don't know physically where to put it. Maybe up here, towards, like, the living quarters in the front. I don't know. Batteries seem to be heavy? No, they're not that heavy. But it does look like advanced electricity is going to be the next option. So that gives us the advanced electrocrafter, which allows us to craft advanced electric resources. And it also will lead to solar power, culinary, cooking, and plastech. Okay, the flounders are done here. I would very much like to build a field, but I'm gonna wait to build a field until I actually have, like, things to put in the field, because at the moment, I don't really have crops to even sow. So it doesn't make sense to, like, build a field and then put nothing in it, in my opinion. But there we go. Grilling up all those nibblers, we recovered our food. So now I'll just do flounder for a bit. And the way the power generators work is they will consume fuel. Here, I'm going to set this to 25 to encourage people to bike instead of burn the wood power. But basically what happens is it consumes fuel to generate power. Alright. We still have a very low amount of dry wood. So I'll probably also deal with that too. Get some tinder to supplement for the wood-fired generator. I do have 41 wet wood that is passively drying in the big drying rack, but that takes a while. Did I think I failed to scout, but I do see a farmhouse to the north that could have potatoes. So we can head up there and grab the potatoes that we need to be able to start a potato field. And in terms of the seawall, we're up to 7. So 1 more carbon and we'll get the 8 seawalls that we need. And we can contact the architect and tell the architect that we have the materials that he has asked for. Why didn't I scout? I could have. There was no real reason I didn't. I'll send someone over there to do that now. Although with that said, I mostly see the region. So scouting isn't going to reveal a whole hell of a lot. Leveling up. Canadian. Give you even more athletics. We have the resources to build the seawall. About time. Transferring my coordinates. Don't dawdle. Water levels are rising by the day. So they're pretty far to the east. But, you know, that'll work. Move to the landmark. And thanks to the filters, only Lisk and Rayvac are polluted now. So the house filters have worked very well. Alright, region was scouted. Yeah, actually, you know, I take it back. It did reveal a whole lot. Alright, I think I'll park closer to the wetwood that we're... You know what? Actually, forget that. Remove the marker, we'll move on. So I'm gonna head up to the farmhouse for the potatoes. And, I think the first field I make will be a potato field. So the nibblers, the smallest fish plus potatoes equals a tasty meal. So it'd be good to have a source of potatoes for that purpose. Interesting, this is where we recruited Snarf, and somehow we didn't get the potatoes out of here? I don't... That doesn't really compute, but whatever. So I'm going to build a large field there, and a large field here. So we can grow the potatoes and grow the wheat. The current priority right now is recruit the architect and grow crops. There, that ought to do it. Let's get to potato planting. So here's how it works. If you go to the farm here, and you open the crops menu. Oh, did we use up all the potatoes in making minnow food? Yes, we did. Stop, 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 stop. Alright, I might need to go seek out some more potatoes because we just, like, ruined our potatoes. I'm looking around. I'm not spotting any potato sources that are, like, remotely nearby. There's corn over there, hypothetically, but that's kind of far. So maybe what I'll do is I'm gonna start heading towards the architect, and then I'll scout on my way there. I should also pick up some more mushrooms because we're low. Electronic parts, scout, mushrooms, done. Alright, so let's go ahead and plant whatever potatoes we do have, which is 5 of them, and then the other field do the wheat, which we had 26 wheat, so I should be able to get the whole wheat field in. Cool. Now, you can plant all you want. Nothing on this green earth grows without fresh water, so give them what they need and wait for them to grow. So, about water, you've got how much available water that you have, your daily consumption for each crop field, and then your refill amount, like how much you refill. So the daily consumption of the wheat field is about 600. So maybe what I'll do is I'll put about 3,000 water, and the threshold will be 2,000, and I'll do the same for the other field, 3,000 and 2,000. What this means is anytime it drops below 2,000, we'll refill the water to the fields. What it will mean also is that we'll have to, through electrolysis, make a whole lot more water. But as long as the available water is greater than the daily consumption, your crops will be fine. I just want like a more wiggle room. There we go, available water 5K, perfect. Both fields have been watered. Okay, we have the survey. And I can't say the survey has been all that helpful. It didn't really show us anything we didn't already know. But I'm going to head over to the Flounder to up our food supply. And then we'll just keep surveying on our way over to Mr. Architect. Salvo radio signals. Oh, okay. So here we go. You guys will have the option to pick a new specialist. What specialist to recruit? So there is the mysterious signal, which is unknown. We have got a chef, a doctor, engineer, botanist, chemist, aquaculturalist, and bird keeper. Just to summarize, I'm not going to spoil the mystery, but chef, obviously, they cook. A doctor helps cure the pollution-related diseases. An engineer allows you to build an extra engine for if you need, like, a tugboat for extra carry weight. A botanist helps to pretty up your city. A chemist allows you to produce, like, bioacids and oil and gasoline and stuff. Aquaculturalist is pretty straightforward, breeding fish. And then the bird keeper is like a bird scavengers. And I'm going to leave that be while you guys vote. So there it is. Poll is... Oh, come on. Poll is up. Give you 2.5 minutes to vote on that. Ooh, we're getting nibblers and flounders. Nice. So once we have a potato field of full of potatoes, we can turn on those, like, always cook the nibblers with potatoes queue and not worry too much about, or worry less, I should say, about food. Looking good. Now, as you can see with the fields, they do not get installed anything. So you can't put floaters or anything like that on them, just the same way that was true with the wood plaza. So you can't lighten the fields. The fields are as heavy as they're gonna be, and there's nothing you can do about that. Wow, the poll is really all over the place. Everyone having a differing opinion. With no obvious consensus. It's not to say it's a problem. Just surprising. Alright, I'm pretty sure we got all the flounder out of here. Yep. So, we still want to head over to the architect. Where was, let me change... Tracking the architect. No. Tracking the architect. Move to the landmark. That was... forget what cardinal direction it was. This way, right? Can you just show me? Too dumb to figure this out. It was east? Yeah, I thought it was east. Oh yeah, okay, it's here. Yeah, I see the marker now. Again, like I said, too dumb. Just too dumb to figure it out. I do want to, scout and scavenge on my way there. So I'm not going to like beeline there and ignoring all the other resources that I can grab between point A and point B. Ooh, potatoes. Ah, yes, lots of potatoes. Good, good, good. And then we also have a leaking water tower, so we'll be able to top up our water that way as well. Fantastic. I probably don't need the furniture. How are we? I'm a little actually low on plastic, though. I should grab plastics. Snarf, leveling up. Ah, yes. You are the super happy to cook dude, and I love it. Because that brought a lot of pressure off of Glitch. Alright, we're going to go with the chemist. One by a hair. Toxin telemetry barrel number TB. Oh, TB's not a number, but whatever. Active. Contents, plastic, 34 units. Oil, 611 units. Degradation rate, 0.8 hours units an hour. It's a data ping. It's tracking some sort of chemical breakdown process. Plastic seems to be degrading. Fast. Someone set this up. Might be worth checking out. Over there. Oh, it's super close. So I still want to get the our architect, but getting a chemist as we travel is not... might as well hit up all the points of interest, right? Alright, we've finished scavenging everything around us. So let's head up to water. And then we'll get the chemist point of interest, too. So there's only 6 water here, but, you know, it's free water, so I'm gonna grab it. So I would say we're a little low on plastic. We don't have any extra generators after building the wood power generator, so harvesting extra generators would be wise. So yeah, there's some things our little city needs, but not badly. And advanced electricity is done. So advanced electricity gives you the ability to make the advanced electro crafter. So if you open up the inventory here, let's check it out. That would be all the way to the right. And that does draw a lot of power, but it requires Plettle and e-electronics. We have that. The question is, where do I actually physically build it? Now, I know that we're getting our architect soon, so, like, I'm not going to worry about, like, how nonsensical this is laid out, because we'll fix it. Alright, next research. So, now that that's done, we can research solar power. Or anything else that we had previously mentioned. Have you choose. And don't worry, I'll be double backing for the let's... Ooh, do we need... I don't have a rotor. So let's salvage the... Oh, you know what? So we need power tools for that. So I'm going to want to get that. Where is... I forget where I put the... power tools. Do I have a power tool maker? Did I never build one? Oh, it's right here. Took me a minute. It was hiding. let's add power tools, plasma tools, and pumps to our constant craft. I think that would be wise. So, power tools 2. Oh, plasma tools 2, pumps 2. Okay, and then there we go. All right, so we're making the power tools in order to harvest that rotor. Wood. And I have, like, no wood right now. So I'm going to do that as well. All right, overwhelmingly, it's pretty obvious you guys want solar power. So cue that up next. All right, so the region got searched. I ended up with tons of potatoes. Now that we're bringing the potatoes back to the field, let's go ahead and start planting them. So crops menu. Done. And then once all those potatoes are in, then I can re-enable the nibbler potato dish. Perfect. So kitchen, nibbler potato kebabs, infinitely do. And I think it would be wise, before we leave this region, to grab at least the potatoes from the closest field, so that I can make more of those nibbler potato dishes. So that we have plentiful food. Seems prudent. So the advanced electronics requires aluminum sheets and electronics. And aluminum sheets come from the, like, ruined office biomes, of which we have found one. It was way... Let me pause a second. There's a lot of them, but in here, you'll see some of these buildings here will have aluminum, like parking garages maybe. There's aluminum factories in here as well. So if we want to make advanced electronics, we'll have to go into these ruined cities, these submerged cities, and scavenge them. And then the other thing this thing makes is the solar panels. And the solar panels require electronics, bioacid, and aluminum sheets. And the bioacid, if you're wondering, is something that the chemists can make. So in the chemistry tree, we get the chemical lab, and the chemical lab makes the bioacids. So you guys want me to contact a chemist? That kind of works out perfectly if we want a lot of solar. So speaking of chemists, let's head over to the degrading plastic barrel-y thing. Here it is. And there is also goop that we can scavenge up from polluted goop. And we'll get that as well. Found it! Toxin telemetry barrel. Strange, the barrel is filled entirely with oil. Haven't seen this much in one place since the shortage. The signal has been sent to a chemical factory not far from here. This seems recent. Whoever did this might be still alive. Over there. Alright, how is my fish oil? How much fish oil do I have? Oh, I have plenty. Okay, so we won't stop for the gulpers. So let's continue on to the architect. And I've been using a lot of metals, so stopping at the like car wrecks and truck wrecks would be wise as well, just to replenish our metal supply. Also stopping at the flounder, because my people love eating flounder. At the start of the stream, I had, you know, like critical food needs, so I'm just trying to head off and avoid that. So there's 11 flounder to pull up here. I don't recall setting my refill amount to that much. Whatever. I'll set it to 5k, 10k. Now that I have more labor free to do stuff like that. Just fill the whole thing up. I know it will completely destroy my water reserves, but we'll electrolyze some water back. Not a big deal. Alright, flounder's done. I was low on plastics, so let's grab the plastics. Before we push on. And then the car wrecks. I'll take the... We have 6 batteries, but I'll take the batteries because they're kind of free. But I will need more demo hammers in order to demolish all the car wrecks. It says production limit has been reached. I somehow don't believe that. Let's do 10, 10, 10, and 10 for the demo hammers and axes, because demo hammers and axes are the tools used most. There we go. Ooh, leveled up. Big Brody. Big Brody, you are becoming even better at making water. You're a one-man or one-woman water cartel. I'm gonna try to park better. I've been doing a really bad job of, like, parking nowhere near the parking spots of these landmarks. And that would really help out my salvage team if I parked where they had to moor. That way a round trip isn't so exhausting. Okay. I'm glad we got metal, because my metal plates were at 0. Because we had turned them into, like, plettle and other materials. We had upcycled them. Come on, salvage team. Smack those cars. Well, howdy, Quantum. Look at how big those batteries are. God, I wish I had a battery that big. What would that be, like a Z battery? Something like that. Alright, so this one's done. I had expressed interest to get even more metal because we basically bottomed out on metal, so let's hit up the truck wreck too. And look at this! I'm parking correctly. I think I'll save a lot of time in, like, putting some effort in, like, parking where we need to be. Oh, I also had mentioned wanting a generator because we used up our wood fire generator. We used up the only generator we had on the wood fire generator that we installed, so replacing that would be great. And Rayvac is, or rather, Lisk is the only one sick. And that is reducing fast. Awesome. Oh, yes. I totally forgot. Let's reduce the weight of that. Perfect. So the architect's over there at that, like, castle-y thing, and we're making our way there. Just trying to scoop up all the materials between us and them. Cheers. Another thing that we're gonna need is, if we do recruit the chemist, we do not exactly have a house for said chemist yet. So let's build another duo house, which means we need more floaters, which means we need more plastic. So plastic, you say? that I can do too. Thank you for tuning in to Flotsam, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhodamont.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhodamont.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow seaworthy survivors.